Alright, session number 2, we're going to get right at it. We're going to start with our home state of Indiana. And if you are home safe and sound, that helps you remember the bordering states for Indiana, or the states that border Indiana. If you're home safe and sound, you're going to say, I am okay, safe and sound. It helps us to remember Illinois, Michigan, Ohio, and Kentucky. Next state has a W that gets its shape from a border because of a Great Lake, and it makes a W up there if you use your imagination. That helps us to remember Wisconsin. Another way you can remember Wisconsin is if you take the M from Michigan, flip it upside down, it turns into a W. And you can also take the I and flip it upside down and it turns into an I. Easy way to remember that. You can also do a little bit of housekeeping up here, so I'm not distracting you so much. You can also continue that M flips and turns into a W, and then it flips again and it turns into an M once again to help you remember Minnesota up here. If you use your imagination, we're going to outline a series of 4 different states. Got some feet down there. Looks like a nose, and I could put a little eye right here, maybe a little smile. This guy says, I am Al. So he says, I'm Al. Easy way to remember that. And Iowa starts the top of his head here. Of course, he's got an I right here that helps you remember Iowa, or you can say Al needs to pay some people some money. So he says, Iowa some money. We've got Iowa. Al is eating way too much. His belly is upset, which is right there. So he's in a lot of misery. Helps us to remember Missouri. And further south here, we've got Arkansas. Another way you can remember that is if you trace some of the borders over here, it kind of makes a capital R if you use your imagination just a little bit. And then finally we have Louisiana all the way down south. Could say it's down low. We could say Louisiana if that helps you to remember that as well. If we trace a border over here, these states get their shape on the western side because of the mighty Mississippi River. And that helps us to remember that this is Mississippi. And a student named Jade actually taught me this little way to remember this state over here. There's Mr. Al and Mrs. Al. So if this is part of Al down here, if you switch around those letters to an A and an L, Mississippi helps us with the little Mrs. part. So there's Mr. Al, which is this guy here, and then Mrs. Al, that helps us with Alabama. And finally, if you trace the part of the flat part of the northern part of this state's border, it makes a flat part of a capital T to help you remember Tennessee. Special thanks to Jade. She's going to show you what she knows coming up next. Thanks for tuning in. Alright, we're going to identify 14 different states in a short amount of time using some things that'll help you remember. We're going to start with the home state right here. I'm going to do this in blue. What state is that?
Indiana.
Okay, Indiana. And if you're home safe and sound, what would you say?
I am okay.
I am okay. Good. What state is this then?
Illinois.
Illinois. Say it like you mean it.
Illinois.
Illinois. What state is this up here?
Michigan.
Michigan. What state is this?
Ohio.
If you forget that's Ohio, you should say what?
Oh,
I know. Good. So there's Ohio. What state is this down here?
Kentucky.
Good. What state is this that has a flat top?
Tennessee.
How do you remember that?
It looks like the top of the capital T.
It's like a top of a capital T. Good job. This one, you told me this strategy has a W in the border up here. What's that state?
Wisconsin.
What's another way to remember that?
The M flips, and you just take the I.
Good. The M flips, goes over there, turns into a W, and really the M, I, in Michigan. Repair that M a little bit. The I can flip and it'll just look the same over there. Good. If we flip that W again, how does it help you remember this state that starts with an M?
It goes back, it flips back to an M, and it's Minnesota.
Good, Minnesota, so we know this one too. If we trace the border of all these states, looks like a nose, looks like a stomach through here, and feet down here in the bottom, and draw an I right here. How do you know this little guy's name?
IML.
Good, I M L. What state is this? He has to pay back a lot of money.
Iowa.
I owe a lot of money. Good. Sounds like an I and O, but it's actually IA. So there's Iowa. He ate too much. His belly's real big. He's in
Missouri.
He's in a lot of pain. He's in Missouri. Good. There's Missouri. And what's this state right here?
Arkansas.
And what can I trace on these states over here?
It looks
to help
like an
me?
R.
Good. It looks like a big capital R. It helps with that R sound. Arkansas. And then down here, what state is this?
Louisiana.
It is all the way down low. Louisiana. It's easy to remember. Remember that. Easy way to remember that. Okay. I'm going to clear these off a little bit. Clear those off a little bit. So we've already named Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa. He's in Missouri because of his big stomach. And then we had Arkansas, good, and Louisiana, good. What river runs all the way down the border of these states?
The Mississippi River.
So what state is this right here?
Mississippi.
Good, Mississippi. And what strategy did you tell me about? Mr. Owl
And Mrs. Owl.
and Mrs. Owl. So if we take the A and the L over here, what's this state?
It's
The A and the L right over there.
Alabama.
Good, Alabama. And that was your strategy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, good job.